scene, just because there's two of us. Me and Tim apprenticed under me last year. He owns Mystic Stables in Blue Ridge, Georgia, and he wanted to do this too. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk on my mic and go through everything that we've done with this horse, where he was at when we got him, or where we felt like where he needed to be, or where he needed to go. So you'll have a better understanding of where the horse is at now. And then Tim will do the same thing when he comes in. If there was more people, of course, we couldn't do that, and it would have to be more set up for the competition. Certain guidelines that you have to do and things like that. But just with two of us, we wanted to do it a little different. I really think this is going to grow. This is a great opportunity not only for trainers, but to get these horses placed. And I foresee it growing and really becoming a good thing. You know, Road to the Horse, when they started it, hardly nobody showed up for the first Road to the Horse. They had a hard time getting trainers to even come to Road to the Horse. And look at it now. Of course, this probably won't ever grow to be as big as Road to the Horse, but it still has the potential to grow and place a lot of horses. Now, one thing about me, Bill, let's put that tarp out too. The tarp should be right in here. I live in Benton, Tennessee. I've been training horses for about 38 years. I've trained gaited horses. I've trained a lot of quarter horses, done a lot of competitions. We do spring Mustang makeovers. And so when I got this little horse, it wasn't much different than some of the other horses that we get in. I do a lot of problem horses. The last 30 years, it's been the biggest part of my business. It's been problem horses. And folks, I'm here to tell you I had a problem. I give all my horses a barn name when they come in. When he come in, I couldn't remember his name, Calypso. I didn't even know what it meant. I couldn't hardly pronounce it. I couldn't remember. So I knew I was going to give him a barn name. Calypso's first barn name was Crackhead. This horse was so overreactive that he would hurt himself. Get away from it. He was just strictly terrified of people. You know, nobody knows what happened in his life, or what caused him to be so overreactive and scared. We do know that he had already hurt one trainer, so he already had one strike against him. So I knew that going into this competition. So I was not really more cautious than I was with any other horse, but I treat every horse the same when I evaluate. But when he first came in, he was so overreactive. Like I said, he was terrified, and he would hurt himself to get away from it. He didn't go around things, he went through them. And when he lost his mind, it took him a while to come back down. You couldn't touch him anywhere hardly. You couldn't lead him. He'd go to lead him, he just wanted to drag you all over the place. So we started our ground school. That's one thing I want to do. I want to go through just a few points of our ground school and watch how he responds to us now. And as you see him in here, you think, well, that horse there ain't too bad. You ought to see the video of him when we started him. And he has improved a whole lot. He still has a lot of work ahead of him. This horse is not a kid's horse. This horse is not a beginner rider's horse. But in the future, he could be, if the right person adopts him. It needs to be somebody that knows horses, that used to been around horses, rode a whole lot, and got a good seat. Then they'll be able to take this horse and take him on, and he'll do good. He'll do real good. He's a real nice riding horse now. He's a great trail horse. I've had him all over the mountains. And when we went to the mountains with him, I do a lot of extreme trail riding. And when I say extreme, I mean extreme. We ride up and down the side of the mountains, the cliffs, and we go places where there's nothing but a deer trail where a deer wouldn't go. And this horse will go everywhere you point his head. He's real quiet and good in the woods. He's starting to do good in arenas. This is other than the mountains, this is the first time he's been away from the farm. Especially the first time he's been in a covered arena. So he's been listening and really responding and doing real nice. As you see, he's pretty quiet. Good. Now we all know horses have one side that's better than the other. This is his bad side, so he needs a lot more attention on this side. So he's getting better. When we first started this horse, you could not get over on his offside. He would not allow you on his offside. Now he's allowing us to get to the offside. I saddle him from the offside. He's been mounted from the offside. So we spend a lot of time on the offside of the horse to balance him out. Or anything that was plastic or paper or anything else was terrifying. He was just scared of his own shadow at first. And if anybody's ever been around a horse that overreacted, and we all know that in the horse world, horses, they have a thinking side of their brain and they have a reacting side of their brain. Well, when they do the reacting side of their brain, what that is where their survival instincts kick in and nature takes over. What we want to do is stop that overreaction and get them to think. Once we can get a horse to think, we can control his direction, control his speed, and then we can become his leader. We cannot become his leader if we can't control his direction, control his speed. Come on, son. Yep. Good. Good boy. Yeah. No. See how you want to come back at first? At first he would just lose his mind and drag you all over the place. Don't want to block that door on the ceiling. That's boy, good job. And it's all about body control, body positioning. Good job, good, all right. And when you learn on the ground school, and the horse learns on the ground, everything we teach from the ground corresponds to being in the saddle. So you want to teach all of your ground school, really work on that ground school, because it's going to make a better horse when you get to riding. A lot of people, that's where they lack, and then they have problems with their horse when they just go to riding, don't do any ground school. And if you don't do the ground school, you're going to run into issues. I look at it like building a house. You got to have a good foundation to have a good sturdy house. You got to put a good foundation on your horse to have a good solid horse. So that's what we try to do. We try to teach. We try to put a good foundation on our horses so that we don't run into the issues later on. And if we do start having an issue, we can fix it. And it's real easy to fix, because then all you do is go back to your foundation. When I fix a problem horse, all I do is take them back to the basics. 9 times out of 10, when I take them back to the basics, the problem goes away. So we really push ground school and basic horsemanship. Basic horsemanship is not hard. It's like us going to 1st and 2nd grade. You know, you can't go to school and start out in the 7th or 8th grade. You'll be lost. You've got to start in 1st grade or kindergarten now. And like that old saying goes, you got to crawl before you can walk. So we want to teach our horses to crawl first, and then we teach them to walk. As you see how quiet he's standing to be saddled now, without being tied. Saddled from the off side. How many has horses now at home, they've had for years, that they can saddle without being tied and saddle from the off side? If you want to see how tough it is, if you've never saddled your horse from the off side without being tied, try it. Because if they've never been saddled from the off side, chances are they're going to be lost when you go to do it. I never get no big hurries. Horses are masters at reading their body language. So if you get in a big hurry with your horse, he's going to read that a little different. If you take the time, you get in a hurry, he may get a little nervous. They're going to anticipate different things. And when they go to outsmart you, and they think they know what's going on next, and they try to beat you to the punch. I like for my horses to wait till I give them the next cue, the next command, before they move off. Okay, we're going to move him around here with the saddle just a second, and then we're going to lay him down. You know, what's the most important thing you can have with your horse? I feel the most important thing you can have with your horse is trust. If your horse does not trust you, he is not going to work with you. He's not going to be a willing partner. And that's all we want for the horse to work with us and not against us. Because if we think, and a lot of us men do, that we can actually manhandle this horse and make this horse do what we want, we're in for a rude awakening. Because every man in this facility today cannot make this horse do anything. If you think you can make this horse do something, he will show you right quick that you better rethink things. Because he will hurt himself to get away from you if he gets scared. Okay. Now at the barn, I've got him where all I have to do is touch his leg and he'll lay down. This is the new surroundings for him, so he's not real sure here. But he still lays down pretty easy, but not as easy as he does at the house. But he will get to. Now when I lay a horse down, and I lay a lot of them down. If you can lay your horse down and lay him down willingly, that's trust. And that's how you start building that trust. I don't throw my horses. I don't do, you hear a lot of old timers talk about roping them and throwing them. I do not throw my horses. The way I lay them down, I usually use hobbles, and I'll hobble both front feet. You get them to go down to their knees like they would do in the pasture or in the stall and lay down. I use a long enough rope right and back away from them to where they don't associate it with me. If they don't associate it with me, they lay down a lot quicker, a lot easier. Down, son. Down. Good forward. We start him down. Good forward. Easy. 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 Down. Down. Good. I always recommend that the first few times you lay your horse down, wrap his legs, wrap his knees. In case he was to jump, you come back down to his knees, he won't skin himself, hurt himself in any way. Easy. Yesterday was the first day that I ever rode this horse. Easy, son. Easy. We'll lay down here in just a second. Wearing my mic, him listening to the echo. So he was a little unsure of it. Easy. Down. Down. Good. Easy. 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 You're okay. You're okay. Down. Good forward. Down. On down. On down. On down. Good boy. And once you get them down, you really want to spend a lot of time petting, rewarding that. So this is the most vulnerable place you can have a horse. If you got your horse on the ground, you're over the top of him, you took the flat instinct away, he's going to roll. And you also took the fight away from him. And so to a horse, he's dead meat. If this horse is out in the wild and a predator was over the top of him, he's dead. Well, to these horses, we're predators. They're prey animals, we're predators. So when they go down willingly, they got to trust you know that they're not going to be injured, that you're not going to be hurt, and you're not going to mistreat them. Well, this horse here, he needed this worse than he needed anything. This has changed this horse more than anything I could have done to it, picking him to lay down. So I lay a lot of my horses down. If I ever get a horse in that's a kicker, it's hard to shoe. I've been a farrier for 30 years. If I get one that's hard to shoe and you can't handle his feet, I lay them down. I handle their feet when they're down. Then when they get up, I can pick off their feet. And they don't have any issues with it. Okay, but so it's a good idea to do it, but you need to know the proper way to do it.